Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Grow Home. We are on the second island now, and basically I'm trying to find the last 3 crystals. We found one, and we're getting down to 1 crystal an episode, maybe even less. Which is a weird thing for me. It's certainly not how I think I would normally by default just assume I wanted to record. I would want to play for a lot longer than I am playing, and play for a length that almost guarantees something would be found. And as I'm just looking around and traversing this area, now if this area was bigger, it would mean I would have to look even harder to find these last crystals. But the trade-off there is that they would probably place them in a lot more noticeable locations, further spread apart. It feels very much like right now. Boy, I just kicked those, didn't I? That they are getting hidden very sneakily. Much as okay, that's the same message as before. I don't think we're gonna get any more new messages from Mom, except for we'll probably get something when we get all the crystals. I did sort of give up on trying to get the crystals and beat the game, and if I was running into a ton more of these star seeds, that would be a consideration, but I've seen maybe 2 of the 5. Oops. What's really scary though is that one of the star crystals I found somewhere was definitely on the first section. So if I missed that, it really gives the indication that there's a very good possibility I missed more, and they could be anywhere. I had said many times, well, at least several times, that I was certain there was no crystals I missed down here on this bottom half. And then I found a crystal down on the bottom half. Which means all certainty is out the window. I could say I'm certain that there aren't any down on this section. Didn't quite make that. Spice this up a little bit and jump out this side. It's nighttime. That would be pretty helpful looking at all these asteroids. Some of these asteroids don't spin. Well, they don't seem like they're spinning, at least right now. they're not spinning means I'm not really seeing their faces that much, as much of the surface. But it could also very well be that because they're not spinning, I can spin around them, if any of that makes any sense at all. Is that a crystal or a flicker? It shouldn't be this difficult. Honestly, I think about 2 hours ago I should have found all the crystals, and I should have run into them just dumbly. And if they had made a bigger map with more things in it, that would totally make more sense. That you would run right into these collectibles as you were playing. There's two ways you can do collectibles. You can have side missions that will walk you in the same places where collectibles will be, or you can just have collectibles and not have side missions or any reason why you would be in that section other than the fact that you are trying to cover every single square inch of the map trying to find them. And I would much prefer all games have side missions. They really missed an opportunity here to save the meeps. If there were meeps on like every rock that there was a collectible and you had to save them because they were now floating in the air, that would be pretty cool instead of killing them. You could make the meep characters your lovable needs to be saved creature. Stay with these asteroids and not be looking down too much. I think I want to be more looking upward as we float around. And if they had implemented a time mechanic, so this, I can see how this would easily be a speedrun type game. It's like, how fast can you get to the top and beat the main game? How fast can you get the other star seeds? If they had put a time thing in there, so after 5 hours you would automatically have this tree grow to its full height. So not just after 5 hours it would grow all the way to the top, but after about 5 minutes it would grow 1 yard or 100 more yards, just to be bigger, and the sprouts would just naturally shoot out and go in different directions, so it would get much thicker and easier to transverse to a limit. Then, yeah, that would also give you the opportunity. What was I gonna say? Man, I'm losing it. It would give you the opportunity that they might, after say 10 hours, start growing directly towards crystals in a fashion so that would have everything. So I'm ready to call asteroid section done. I have a hard time believing there are any more, but I have a hard time believing there are any more anywhere. But I know there's 3. But yeah, if they started at this after a while growing towards the crystals, and if they hit the crystals, we've seen that they break them. That would be nice. It wouldn't be my implementation of the fix of this problem, no. My implementation would be, there would be some kind of radar saying how far away you are. And you could just climb up 100 yards and it would say, yes, and within 100 yards there is a crystal. And then it would kind of sonar beep, beep, beep type stuff. Show you that you are close, hot or cold type stuff. Because this is rather silly. This is rather silly. And I'm willing to say there's no crystals on any of those islands. And I'm probably wrong. There was a crystal in here at one point, but not now. You can go over on the other side and make sure it's not just there. I guess I need to pay attention to the bottom side of this island. The top side is, I think, almost certainly not got anything on it. If there was a crystal just laying around on the top of this mountain, I think I would have seen it by now. I'll go the other direction than I normally do. Maybe a different perspective will help me see something differently. I think what the bargain has to be is, it has to be, I'm gonna have to go, if I go at one episode without progressing at all, I'm gonna have to pause, play off screen. And what I'll do is a boring process of following the walkthrough and going to every single location where there's supposed to be a crystal, and then finding the ones that I don't have. And then I would come back with 100% crystals done. Which kinda sucks, but I think it is the lesser of two evils when it comes to potentially making weeks, if not even more than weeks, worth of footage where nothing happens. See, I've been all over this section here, looking for crystals. There was a whole bunch. But I may not have... Like, was that a crystal? I can't help but feel like that's a crystal. Well, there might be a crystal over there. Just looking straight up. Straight upward. There might be a crystal up there, but I cannot, for any angle I come at it, see it. So even if that's one, that's just one. But yeah, I'm willing to say that there's only one crystal there, and I'm willing to say I bet I don't know where any of the other ones are. And this is the whole problem with 100% collectibles. There should be, I would say, a 10% more than needed of all collectibles in every game, and once you get that collectible, then the 100% of them. So for the 100 crystals here, there should be 10 more crystals, and once you get 100, all of the extras just disappear. Or you can leave them if people want to be OCD about it. But I am so past any thought of being OCD and collecting things. I just don't have time for it. It doesn't make great footage. It's kind of cool to glide here, and I am working towards that achievement for like 10 minutes or 30 minutes gliding, but either I'm not getting close enough to things, or some other way I'm messing up because I'm still not finding them. I am still just not finding them. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to just follow a guide. I only have like 3 left too. So if I followed the guide to the point where I find the first crystal and then recorded another episode, that would be less objectionable at least. Of course, I don't have anything else to do is the problem if I did that, because then I would just be wandering around again for the rest of the episode looking for the next crystal. If it were just one, I would consider it a lot I wouldn't have to consider it at all. I would do it in a heartbeat. Just but yeah, I possibly wouldn't even mention it. I might try to play it cool and say, "Oh yeah, I found it. It's here. Didn't look it up. Totally." I probably would mention it though. It's not realistic for me to not mention things if I'm having to seek help to play a game. That means the player, any other player, is probably going to have to seek help to play the game. And there's nothing wrong with that as a player. There is something wrong with it as a game developer. If you've made your game too hard. That's what it really comes down to. So, yeah, I'm back at the beginning, and that's where all of the guides leave me. Start. So, from this point, I'm gonna just go to every single location where there's supposed to be a crystal off screen until I find the 3 crystals. So, next episode you see, I will have just 100%. Uh, we've done a whole episode linked here where we haven't accomplished anything. Once we have 100%, it will be a lot easier to start finishing these uh, out. We will have a different skin, I'm pretty sure, and then it will be really, really easy to start looking for the star seeds and finishing this game. Anyways, that's it for this episode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media site, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.